Noah has been one of my best friends, I'd say, for plenty of years now, probably like five or six, since probably like sixth or seventh grade. So, I mean, I've been around Noah for a long time, as you can tell from that. But our work together, at least musically, we've always had pretty much the same opinion on at least how musically things should work.
Noah, he's a great saxophone player. He's a great bass guitar player. He's a great guitar player. He's a great songwriter. He wrote "Float" from our last CD.
Noah, he's also a really great guy. Very talented too. He's also involved in drama, as we know. Um, and he loves music just as much as us. He always, since he was a kid too, always puts on those records, always doodles with his guitar and his bass, and he loves playing shows. I know that. Sometimes he's a little lazy to come to practice. We have to call him when he's tired, and he gets cranky when he's tired.
The bass, of course, is another in correlation with the drums. Is kind of the backbone. It's kind of the base and the foundation of the sound of the castle. It's the voice, if you will, of the castle, and it's that overtonal voice that says, you can't come in my castle. If you do, here's what's going to happen, or we're going to come get you, or Tide, you're not going to take me away. You can never take me away. He's the voice. He's the power.
Playing the bass has been far more entertaining for me and a far better experience than playing the saxophone. Maybe that's just because, I don't know, it gets me more into the rock spirit. And it's more than what I expected. It's such a great experience on stage. Any person that has come to a Catchstone show watches me at least for a minute on stage. They know how much fun I have. I always have a smile on my face. I'm always getting into the music. So much emotion, and that comes from the music, and that's where I want to be, is on stage with my buds. I mean, I love all of them. And that I'll never forget, because I'll be friends with them forever. So it's way more than I expected.
There's Mickey, also a really cool guy. Thank God for him, because there's so much individual jobs we do outside of just being the saxist or the guitarist and the drummer and blah blah blah. And he takes care of all the the numbers, man. He knows his stuff. So any money, any financing, he's got that taken care of, and we feel good about that, because we know he's got it taken care of. Also a good musician, comes to practice and just plays whatever's supposed to be played, plays it well. And he also takes care of a lot of our merchandise at shows, and that's really cool too.
And then the saxophone. Instead of having a voice to harmonize my chorus melody, he would do it on the saxophone.
We're the ones, me and Mickey are the ones that worry about money issues, like the issues with money. So that gets us along, it gets us together talking about that.
Mickey's always there for those awkward jokes that no one laughs at. Mickey's funny a lot of the time, but sometimes he'll just throw something in there and he'll start laughing, and Mark, Andy, and Matt and I will just look at each other and be like, and that's Mickey.
As far as my role, it's pretty much dealing with the money as far as Catchstone goes. And I know it probably isn't the greatest sounding thing, but as far as those kind of things go, and making sure that all the time the merchandise is ready to go, and getting all those things ready, so we're not scrambling at the last minute. We always look prepared and have a professional feel to everything that we're doing, so we don't look like a bunch of buffoons that somebody could rip off. And I think that's such an important part. Matt has been there since the beginning, and it's difficult to say much. He's always been there, and I guess we've probably taken him for granted. And he's always just been there, it seems like, and I think it's a good thing, because it gives us some solidity to the band, instead of having like a drummer come and go and those kind of things. It offers a lot to us as far as musical as we can get.
Matt's kind of the quiet one in the band. He sits behind the set, and it's kind of a shield. He likes when he's around other people, he's very, very quiet. But when he's around us, he's pretty funny. He always throws out the sickening jokes that you would never say, but they actually, you're thinking in your head, they'd be funny if I said them, but it's so gross that I'm not gonna say it. He goes that extra yard to say those jokes, and you gotta give him credit. He has a lot of confidence once you get to know him. He just doesn't show it. He's kind of a shy guy when you first meet him, but he really is devoted to the band.
You have the drums as the backbone and the structure and the walls of the castle. Holding that up, and creating a security in the music, if you will. And I'm really trying to express that to Matt and try to get him in. And he's very tough to. He's really tough to break into. I have to say, he's a challenge. But he's great at what he does, and he's a really unique person.
And then there's Mr. Matt Barba. He's a crazy guy. He might come across as a moron at first. He might come across as just some strange kid, but once you get to know him, he's really cool. He's actually very smart. He actually knows a lot about life. He's he's kind of like a big brother kind of. He's always helped me with things and stuff in life, and he's always been a good friend. He's the one always making the jokes and that are really, really stupid, but we laugh because he's a crazy little Matt.
We're just for some reason it's confident great. We're just in tune with each other. We know what each other's thinking. Like during songs, we don't want to change. We just know because we're doing it for so long. We know each other that well. We know the energy's up there, so we just do it. We just do it for ourselves and for the band. We don't do it to get big. We don't do it to get popular. Because really, we're just we're 5 geeks. Honestly, we would have nothing else better to do but play music because we want to play music, so we do. I believe that if we're friends outside of the band, we'll be better friends in the band, play together better in the band. We know we're on it with each other every time because we hung out so much outside of the band. At school, we hang out. Marching bands hang out. So we're just in it. We know what to do. It's hard to explain, but it's just being friends out of the band makes you better in the band.
Andy's the songwriting prodigy with the free mind. He always goes whatever he does, he's always thinking either about something else or he's thinking what we're thinking to a much deeper extent, and it's like he's in this whole other world, and I love it. And he always makes up these weird things. Like one time we were recording in the studio, and he comes in and he just starts going, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I was trying to touch the ceiling with my nipples." And I'm like, "Andy, what are you talking about? You can't even touch it with your hand. How do you expect to touch it with your nipple?" And we just kind of give him a little hard time because he kind of has this little ADD going on, and it's okay. I love him for it.
Andy, he's crazy. He's funny. He's really intelligent. He's into his music. He knows what he wants to have out. He knows what he wants to write, what he wants to play. He's a musical genius, in my opinion. Andy's really like the director of the band. He tells us what to play, and then we make our own version of it, and we play it.
Andy's an all-around great guy. Very loving. Very talented. He's always been a great friend to everybody. A great son, a great brother, great boyfriend, great band member. He's really driven too. He knows what he wants to do with life, and he's very passionate about it. Very passionate about what he's doing. He wants to get his message across through his lyrics, and everyone loves Andy. You can't not like him because there's nothing not to like about him. He's nice to everybody. He's accepting.
Andy, as most everybody would know, back in what was it, 7th or 8th grade, started the whole thing and is basically the whole musical force behind all the new creations of Catchstone, and where all the music is really originating as far as the ideas for it.
To come down here sometimes and to put nothing out, just to play your old songs and put nothing out most unrewarding experience you can ever have. Music just keeps me going. I could be depressed and as angry at myself as the level of anger can allow me to. But I still come back down here for more, and I still pick up the guitar again, and I still forgive myself to a point. Again, it's the hardest job in the world, hands down. I don't even make a living on it. You have songs to write, you have things to say, and to me, they suck. I just, sometimes I just want to rip my head off and say, give me a new one, God. It's just the hardest thing to tell yourself. It's okay, you're gonna be fine. It's okay. It's a pretty good song, It's the hardest thing to do. And when you get feedback from it, it's very enlightening to say, hey man, I may be reaching the people after all. I may be a pretty good artist myself. It's the most mercurial job that there is emotionally. I see music in color. I see music in different shades of light, and like each key is kind of different color. Each voicing is different color, and I find melodies that fit with that color. And I say, whoa, there's a clash, and it's that beauty of that resonance and that natural light of that color. And I say, wow, that's it. I always write my lyrics last. That's just the way that I do it. And poetry to me is ideas, relevant or irrelevant, but placed together create forms of life that he can listen to and say, hey, I love this part, I can relate to this part. And she says, hey, I can relate to this part.
Mark's one of the best guitar players I've ever seen in high school. If he doesn't make it with us, and we don't go on as a bigger band, he'll make it in the music industry by himself as either a producer or a guitar player.
Mark is relatively the newest member to the band, and I value him so much because what he's doing in the band, he's one of the best guitar players that I've ever known in person. So for me to say that I'd rather have anybody else in the band, you can't say that because he's the best one musically who can fit in there that I possibly know. It's such a great help to have him in the band because he's the one that's normally out there getting the shows. He knows most of the people who are doing those kind of things as far as people who run places. And Catchstone probably wouldn't be what it is today, and as far as at least the fan base and the popularity and how widespread our music is.
Mark does a lot for the band. I have to give him credit. Whenever he can, he does whatever he can to promote, and he is so devoted to making this band succeed. So that's what made it easy to accept him. At first it was just a little weird because he was the new guy, but like his devotion and his hard work, it really made it easy to, get him clicked into the chemistry that we have now, and it's just great. I love it. Then we're great friends. We have kind of a love-hate relationship. Sometimes he can be so devoted to what the band does that he takes it out on other people when something doesn't go our way. And I'm glad we had that in our band because we probably wouldn't have had half as many shows as we did if it weren't for Mark. Mark basically books all of our shows.
I thought of the moat and the rain and the ocean by a sandcastle, and it came up with water. And I heard Mark's guitar, and I said, wow, it's so flowing, it's so blue. I picked up from the voice, and he's got this blue atmosphere. It's got this very moist and wet sound to it. I said, man, you gotta be the water. You gotta be that replenishing of a war, of a battle nearest the castle. And I said to him, Mark, you're the water. You're the water, man. You're the replenishment of a broken castle.
There's nothing I have more fun with than playing guitar or playing in a band and making music and going to the studio. Anything that has to do with music, I'm always happier than doing anything else in life. And just knowing that, and realizing that I don't want to do anything else in life but music, then I know I have to work, my ass off to make that happen because it's not an easy thing. So that right there is why it is a dream, but it's also a goal that can, come true. It can happen. It can make, real, and as a career. And when you're up there, it's like you're just having fun. So it's great. And as soon as you're done, man, it just sucks because you want to do it night after night, and you gotta go.
This is the depressing part. Where you have to carry everything on your own, and there's no show for a long time.
Yeah.
What about next week?
Kind of a drag knowing that instead of just being able to do that every single night.
The band had been together for about a year and a half. They started in 1999. It was just a garage band. It was Matt, Andy, Derek, and Mike Stoser. And they just played like at the school dances and stuff like that. They actually played a show at Taste Roselle. His dad was on the committee. And that was 2000. And that I'd say October or November of my freshman year, he called me on the phone one day and he asked me if he wanted me to play saxophone in his band. And he was like the latest craze in middle school because all the little girls were like screaming for him and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. And at that time they had like 5 originals at the most. But I was like, this is sweet. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then he told me he was going to ask Mickey to play saxophone too. So we get a couple of new originals, and we played covers like Crash, and we'd still play like Polly by Nirvana. It was kind of funny how we had different styles in there. That went on for another year and a half. Mark was brought into the band under lead guitar, and now we didn't have a bassist. And I had picked up bass a year before that. And Andy asked me if I could pick up bass since Derek was out of the band. So I agreed to that. And so we played under that for, it's been like 2 years now with Mark. Yeah, or has it been a year? 2 years. 2 years with Mark, and so that's been the way it's been.
It's a blessing to work with, the guys in my band. I look at them and I'm just like, shoot, like I got guys in my band that musically ahead of me.
We had quite a recording experience getting that full length album out. And just all that experience, that's how we grew as a band, how we came together, how we built the chemistry. It was like being together so long, and after a while you could memorize each musician's style of playing with their instrument, and it was just such a great experience. I'm so glad we, on one hand, it's kind of sucked that we had to take a whole year to record the album, but on the other hand, I'm so glad I got to spend that much time with the guys.
Well, being a band, it's like a family, like everyone says, the whole cliche thing about, rock and roll bands. You're with each other all the time, you're with each other, the ups and downs, and it's like you have a love-hate relationship with all of them, like they're your brothers and sisters, So that's really cool to have them, because we're always on the same page, it seems like, for the most part.
Without each one of us being there, Catchstone isn't Catchstone. It's not, if there was somebody else, it wouldn't be the same band. There wouldn't be such a consistency, how well everybody fits together. That just wouldn't be there. The thing that I most enjoy about Catchstone is probably the camaraderie that we feel between all the band members. We're doing it because we want to, and we're doing it because we enjoy being with each other and enjoy making music with each other.
Thank yous. I feel that music is based around thank yous. Without the thank yous and without the inspiration, nothing would ever happen. And that's why it's so meaningful to me. I'm in a very sentimental place right now because I'm ending a career of 4 years at a wonderful high school, wonderful. And then to the fans. I mean, honestly, it's so just out of this world how much you guys mean to me and how much your support is dear to my heart.
I like to thank all the kids who come to shows all the time, because that's what keeps us happy, that's what keeps us going, that's what keeps us a band.
And then just all our fans for listening, buying the CD, watching this, obviously. So hopefully it keeps going. That's what I'm hoping.
I think definitely the fans are what keeps Catchstone going. And I think it's kind of a relationship that the band has with the fans. It's, the band keeps the fans coming back, but the fans keep the band coming back too. Thank you for completing the cycle and encouraging us to come back to every show with a positive attitude.
Thank you to the fans. You are the most important element of the live and the albums and everything in the merchandise. You're what make Catchstone go around the wheels. Without your support, we wouldn't have other fans, and without their support, we wouldn't have other fans. So it all comes from you guys. Thank you so much.
So I'd just like to thank God for surrounding my life with such beauty and such art that is music. My family for helping me grow and helping me give me options and give me support and give me opportunities to do some of the things that I've accomplished. That means a lot to me, and you're always in my heart.
And of course, all of our parents have been supportive. When we need the money, they give it to us.
Family, 4 guys in the band, plus Derek and Mike, obviously. And then Mark's parents were putting up with us every night when his dad wakes up at 4 a.m., I guess. He was there till 9 o'clock pricing. His dad hates it, but he wants us to achieve our goal. Mrs. Walker being so nice and feeding us dinner. She's a nice lady for that. Yeah, my mom's very supportive. My dad's really supportive. My dad, if he speaks English that well, he'll be supportive if he can, but yeah, they are for the most part. They get mad at me sometimes, but they're supportive of what I do. They understand that I want to do this, so.
Thank you to my mom and dad and my sister, my dog and my cat. Your support helps me play the music. Thank you so much.
Great. Our friends come to all the shows they can, you know. So all that, you know, together really gives us a warm feeling of support that keeps us happy, keeps us going. So thank you.
Thank you to my friends. I love you guys so much. You know who you are. Without your support, I wouldn't be able to do all this on my own. So thank you so much. Just thank you to the people I look up to. You guys know who you are. Thank you to my teachers at Lake Park who guided me through my 4 years, my 4 best years of my life, and obviously the same 4 years that Catchstone got started. Thank you to the crew. You guys know who you are. Thank you to everyone who recorded us, all 5 of you. Ray, Charles, Gary Fry, Greg. Just anyone who's ever helped us in any way. Thank you so much. Fans, most of all, you're what make us go. Thank you so much.
I like to thank the band, you know, as a whole and individually. They're all great guys. They're all great guys to me.
As far as to the rest of the members, I would probably like to say just a thank you, because it's gone so far through the years that we've been together that it's given each of us more opportunities than we would have had not being in. So I guess I would definitely like to say thank you to the rest of the members for making Catchstone what it is and having the continuity of the band that there is today.
Thanks to the band. I'm a new guy. I'm a fun guy. I do what I want, and it's helped a lot in my life.
Thank you to Andy. Thank you to Mickey. Thank you to Matt. And thank you to Mark. Without you, Catchstone wouldn't be a group. And obviously, you can't make music without the people.
And the band, of course, you know, you guys are my brothers. I love you guys. I couldn't do anything without you. It's cliche, but it's so true. You know, it's just so meaningful to me that you guys come to practice and you guys play your hearts out, and I jam with you guys. just this companionship that no one can ever know, no one can ever take away from me, and that's why I love you guys with all my heart.
Somebody listen to us now. It's quite simple, baby. Throw away all of your troubles now. And dance, dance, dance to the rhythm of the music, yeah. Would you let your heart escape and your mind wander, yeah, 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 yeah. Listen to us now. It's quite simple, baby.